On July 10, 1775, Petro Ivanovich Prokopovich was born, the man who launched a global honey revolution. Petro Ivanovich was born in the village of Michenki, Konotop County, in the Chernihiv region, into a priest's family. His father came from a noble Cossack family, the same lineage as the famous theologian Archbishop Fefan Prokopovich, a professor and rector of the Kiev Mohyla Collegium. Petro graduated from the theological faculty of the Kiev Theological Academy. He then joined the military and served for 4 years, fighting in the Caucasus and Persia. By the age of 23, he had reached the rank of lieutenant but chose to leave his military career behind. After resigning from the army, he became fascinated by bees. His younger brother Stepan had a small apiary. At that time, bees were kept in hollowed-out logs. In 1799, Petro decided to dedicate his life fully to beekeeping. Using the discharge pay he received from the military, he bought 30 beehives. By 1808, he already had 580 hives. He studied bee behavior and continuously improved his methods. In 1814, inspired by his son Stepanko, he invented the world's first removable frame beehive. The idea came to him after his son wept upon seeing beekeepers suffocating bee colonies with sulfur smoke to collect honey. The boy even refused to eat honey afterward. The solution came to Prokopovich in a dream on New Year's Eve of 1814. He envisioned the removable frame hive and went on to build it. This invention allowed beekeepers to harvest honey without destroying the bee colony. It was a real breakthrough. The frame also made it possible to study and preserve the lives of bee families. This type of hive is still in use today. Prokopovich quickly became wealthy. In 1828, he opened a beekeeping school in his native village of Michenki. 2 years later, he relocated it to the Palchiki homestead, which he purchased for this purpose. The school's instruction was conducted in Ukrainian. Over the years, it trained more than 700 qualified beekeeping instructors. By 1839, Prokopovich had 3,000 bee colonies, producing an annual honey yield worth 20,000 silver rubles in net profit, a fantastic sum for the time. Eventually, he expanded the apiary to 10,000 colonies, making it the largest in the world. Prokopovich became a true celebrity. He was visited by notable figures like Mykola Kostomarov, Taras Shevchenko, and even Emperor Nicholas I. On one occasion, he sent a petition to the emperor requesting that the Moscow-Kiev railway project be rerouted through Konotop and Bakhmut instead of Halukhiv and Baturin, for the sake of honey purity. The emperor agreed. His honey became widely popular. He shipped honeycombs to Kiev, St. Petersburg, and Moscow. He even signed a supply contract with the royal court. Beeswax was also in high demand, with the Kiev Pekarsk Lavra being its biggest buyer. Prokopovich wrote over 60 scientific papers about bees, coined professional terminology that was adopted across Europe, and did it all in the Ukrainian language. He asked the authorities for permission to buy a printing press to publish his work, but was denied. After his death in 1850, his students published his works in Russian, and they were soon translated into European languages. Prokopovich's legacy was continued by his son Stepan, who maintained and developed the school until his death in 1879. However, after his passing, the Tsarist government confiscated all property. The apiary and estate were destroyed and looted, manuscripts and even portraits of Prokopovich were lost. Today, several monuments in Ukraine honor this great beekeeper, and the Institute of Beekeeping bears his name. Monuments to Prokopovich can be found in cities like Lviv and Ivano-Frankivsk. Anyone who has ever tasted honey has Petro Prokopovich to thank for this sweet delight.